Hello, I'm Hannah Kaplan, and this is the WCS Wild Audio Podcast, where you'll find reported audio stories covering the latest news and newsmakers from the Wildlife Conservation Society's Global Conservation Program, Zoos and Aquarium, and their many partners. We've got a great show today, so let's get to it.
WCS supports the government of Belize in the management of 2 marine reserves, protected by a dedicated team of local rangers and monitored by experienced local and international scientists. Beyond preserving marine ecosystems, their focus extends to supporting the livelihoods of fishing communities. Ralna Kay Lamb Lewis, WCS Belize's assistant director, says it's about ensuring that communities, especially women who have been underrepresented, have the tools to manage resources, ensuring their own incomes and quality of life. Hannah Kaplan has the story.
As climate change worsens, coral bleaching, pollution, and overfishing have degraded marine environments and threatened the livelihoods of fisherfolk. Recognizing this, WCS Belize has formed collaborative working groups seeking to empower fishing communities so that they themselves can shape the management of their marine resources.
Last year, we saw a significant increase in sea surface temperature, which resulted in bleaching activity occurring at several sites across Belize's marine space. Over the years, WCS has been working with various stakeholder groups to help form advisory committees for marine protected areas, as well as fisherfolk associations. And the main purpose is to ensure that people are organized and that their voices are being taken into account when management decisions are being made, which ultimately affects them.
These groups bridge the gap by identifying community needs and sharing the benefits of initiatives like no-take zones. These zones, which are off-limit to harvest, allow fish populations to rebound. The result? Healthier ecosystems, increased fish catches, and stable incomes for local families. With WCS backing, the goal is to protect 30% of Belize's marine territory by 2030, building on the 20% of marine territory currently protected. But this requires the endorsement and understanding of those directly involved in fishing.
There is a human rights-based approach to fisheries management, and it really focuses on fisherfolk understanding their rights and responsibilities. We've also been working with the government to expand strictly protected areas in order to meet those global targets. In addition, we've been exploring various supplementary livelihood initiatives that are not only beneficial to fisherfolk, but also their households, their communities, and especially the environment that they are dependent on.
But while these groups have gained popularity and momentum, the team recognized a crucial oversight. Women had not been represented in these conversations. Women play vital roles in and around the fishing industry, but have often been excluded from decision-making processes.
Women contribute significantly to Belize's small-scale fisheries sector. However, it's not well documented. If you were to go to any coastal community or fishing community, you would see the various roles that women are playing in Belize's small-scale fisheries sector. And those vary from helping to organize the trips, managing the finances, as well as marketing the product, ensuring that they have a sale for the product when it reaches mainland, as well as assisting with the processing of that product that is being delivered. So women are involved in the sector. However, they're not visible because oftentimes when people think of fishing, they only think about the act of going out there to fish, and they usually envision men on boats doing that particular activity. But like I said, there are various activities involved in fisheries. If women aren't visible in the sector, if the various roles that they are playing are not being recognized by your policymakers and those involved in decision making, then this ultimately results in women being marginalized. Their voices are not being taken into account when it comes to fisheries management, and they're not being engaged in fisheries management.
That's where the Women in Fisheries Forum comes in, recognizing the importance of gender inclusivity. The Belizean government has developed a gender strategy for the fisheries and coastal zone sector, producing guidelines to ensure women's participation in committees. WCS is seamlessly integrating these initiatives into their own work.
So far, we've had 6 women in Fisheries Forum. And at these forum, women are given the space and the opportunity to share their concerns, to voice the challenges that they're facing in the sector, to learn about opportunities that are available to them, and for them to share with us the vision that they have for the sector.
Ralna explains that the forum empowers women with the confidence and skills to advocate for their needs in resource management. She highlights how some women are stepping into leadership positions, while others are pursuing their own commercial fisherfolk licenses, which in turn gives WCS a better idea on how many people are relying on different marine resources. The team's vision for the future of marine conservation here builds off of recent successes.
What I would really want to see is that fisher folks in Belize become organized and that they're able to understand the rights that they have within this sector as well as the responsibilities that they have as stewards of the marine space. And in addition to that, everyone that is involved in fisheries management and marine protected areas management really understand the responsibilities that they have so that at the end of the day, we're able to see thriving ecosystems that people want to come and visit, as well as healthy fish stocks, and that persons who are dependent on these ecosystems are able to support themselves as well as their families. And at the end of the day, Belize is able to showcase what effective management can result in for marine protected areas.
For WCS Wild Audio, I'm Hannah Kaplan.
Today's episode was produced and reported by Hannah Kaplan, with help from Dan Rosen and Nat Moss. The WCS Wild Audio podcast is a production of the Wildlife Conservation Society. Please join us next week for a new episode, and don't forget to follow, rate, and review the show wherever you get your podcasts.